Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and I want to talk about the latest developments in the fraud charges against Dr. Wendy and Eddie Osefo from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Wendy wants you to know, honey, she was not fired, she quit. And blogger Funky Dineva did not hesitate to drag them, mostly Wendy, of course. Now, before we get into these stories, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on a soundbite, a clip, it is allowed. Okay, so this first part is coming from the Jasmine brand, where Wendy Osefo clarifies through a statement that she voluntarily resigned from her position at Wesleyan University before her fraud charges went public. All right. So, Wendy is speaking out about her departure from Wesleyan University, clarifying that she was not fired but chose to resign. In a statement to People magazine on Tuesday, October 14th, a spokesperson for the Real Housewives of Potomac Star said that contrary to recent media reports, Dr. Wendy Osefo was not terminated from a faculty position at Wesleyan University. She formally submitted her letter of resignation prior to any public announcement made by the university. The rep added, Dr. Osefo made the voluntary decision to step down from her role. This decision was made independently and communicated directly to the university before any external reports surfaced. A spokesperson for Wesleyan University confirmed her exit, stating that Wendy Osefo is no longer an employee of Wesleyan University. She resigned from her position. Okay, so when I read that late last night, I thought to myself, well, it was smart of her to resign because who wants to face getting fired, right? That would suck. That could cause anxiety. And also, she's a public figure. She's on a very popular reality TV show that would just add to her embarrassment that she is already experiencing. So I could not help but wonder if Dr. Wendy Osefo is operating from a place of pride. You know, she didn't want to experience getting fired. She knew that this would be very messy and that the university would not want to be tied to anyone who has fraud charges against them. So she went on ahead and resigned. So it makes me think like she knew that the charges were coming down. She knew that the arrest was going to be made and she decided to resign. So I wonder, like, how many weeks ago did she and Eddie start feeling the heat? When she got the one claim denial from one of the insurance companies who said that they were denying the claim because she did not disclose that she filed the other two claims. I wonder, was that the beginning of her and Eddie starting to think, this could snowball and get really ugly? Or was it once the insurance companies were starting to, basically depose them, interview them, ask them lots of questions? I'm just curious as to what point did she realize, okay, I have to quit my university gig because this is going to get really ugly and it won't be a good look for the school. I'm just curious. I'm like really into this case and I just want to see where it all goes because I think this is like ridiculous because she prides herself on being so educated and such an intellectual. And then to perpetuate the stereotype of Nigerians being scammers, which I'm not saying, Dr. Wendy and Eddie, that you all have done anything wrong, but it looks like you're perpetuating the stereotype about Nigerians being scammers. And I just see 13 minutes ago while I was making another video, Tamra Judge, who's on the Real Housewives of Orange County, says Wendy Osefo's neighbor slid into her DM and said everyone in the neighborhood assumed the burglary was an insurance fraud scheme. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh dear. Okay. So let me get this ready. So I want to go ahead and take a look at that. But this is bad. I feel like this is really bad. And yeah, do you all think that they're going to go to jail? Let me know what you think in the comments. Did this refresh? I feel like it did not refresh because that Tamra Judge story should be at the top. So just one moment here. There we go. There it is. The most recent story. Okay, so Tamra said it on her podcast, Two T's in a Pod, that everyone in the neighborhood assumed it was an insurance fraud scheme. Oh my gosh. Because remember that news conference that I played for y'all, the cops said that in their neighborhood, they hadn't heard of a burglary in over 20 years. So they felt like the robbery was just really just out of nowhere. So let's go to Tamra's podcast Instagram page. I do want to see. Okay, it doesn't look like, if this says Alexis Bellino, that must be the latest post. That's just from 4 hours. Okay, so no, maybe she has talked about Dr. Wendy. Alexis, okay. I'm trying to look. So this is Teddy. I hope Teddy is just getting better and better. You know, she's been dealing with stage 4 brain and the C word. I don't even like saying that word for that sickness. Okay. Yeah, so I have to look for their podcast because I want to see if there's any other details that Tamra gives from the neighbor. Neighbor, if you're watching, okay, definitely holla at your girl. I would love to. So this is an interview with Alexis Bellino. You know, she just recently married John Jansen that dated Shannon Bador from the Real Housewives of Orange County. So yeah, I got to look for that clip about the neighbor. And then I also want to get into what Funky Dineva said. First, let me grab the clip and I'll send it to my DM so that I can pull it up easily. Here it is. Okay. All right. So let me go here. Y'all know Funky Dineva, he loves to drag a woman. He loves to drag a Black woman. That's just my opinion, Funky. And he's going to let loose on the Osefos. Okay. Oh, I think Tamra talks about it. Maybe It's on Site. This is from It's on Site. Maybe they have the soundbite from Tamra. Kim Zolciak subpoenaed in $100 million divorce case after allegedly messing with a married millionaire. Sis still ain't learned to leave other people's husbands alone. Allegedly. Oh, I will check that out, honey. Okay, here it is.
Neighbor slid into my DM. Basically, that they all got notices on their front door or in their mailbox that there had been a burglary, and it was at the, Wendy and Eddie's house. The whole entire neighborhood was thinking this is insurance fraud.
Really?
But they all thought something was kind of shady about it.
Something was fishy.
Fishy. Like
Stacey's breath.
Stacey's breath. I was going to say that. So her neighbor slid into my DM. Basically, that they all got notices on their front door or in their mailbox that there had been a burglary, and it was at the, Wendy and Eddie's house. The whole entire neighborhood was thinking this is insurance fraud.
Really?
but they all thought something was kind of shady about it.
Something was fishy.
Fishy. Like
Stacy's breath.
Stacy's breath. How'd you know I was going to say that?
Tamara, show the DM. You don't have to show the neighbor's Instagram handle. You can redact that, but show us the conversation, the thread. Because see, people in the comments are believing Tamara. And I know she doesn't have the best rep from being on the Real Housewives of Orange County. So show the thread, and you can just block out the neighbor's Instagram name. That's all you got to do. Because do I think that that's feasible? Because Tamra is a well-known reality TV star. She's also within the Real Housewives franchise, and she has a podcast. So yes, I think that it's very feasible that one of Dr. Wendy Osefo's neighbors could have DM'd her. But because it's Tamra, and I know Tamra, you don't like to hear it when people say they can't trust you. Don't walk off and don't quit the show on account of me, all right? But if you're watching this current season, then you know that what I'm talking about. But show the DM thread, and you can just redact the neighbor's IG handle. That's all you got to do. So do you believe, Tamra, that a neighbor sent her a DM? I think that it's very possible. So now let's get into what, did I go past it? What Funky Dineva had to say about the Osefos. So I will go ahead and mute my mic so that there is no echo, and then let's get into it. Please hit the like button. Thank you.
And here's the unfortunate thing, Wendy. You fell victim to wanting to keep up with the Joneses for an expectation that you built in your head. Wendy, we never looked at you as the fashion girl. We never looked at you as the it girl. We never looked at you as the girl that drive nice. We never looked at you or expected you to be the girl that lived nice. That was never the box any of us put you in. So the fact that you fell victim to the materialism of it all is really baffling to all of us, because that is an expectation that only existed in your head. No one ever expected you. There's never been a day when anybody's been like, "Ooh, bitch, y'all saw that shit Wendy had on? Bitch, Wendy was giving." We never looked at you like that, Wendy. Like, honestly and truthfully, Wendy, you could have worn Levi's jeans and t-shirts out the pack, and you still would have been received the same. So to fall victim to trying to keep up, and then it was like a half-baked insurance fraud scam. And here's the unfortunate thing. Your husband is being disgraced and disbarred, which brings up another thing. You don't fucked around and got your mama kicked out the village. It's almost as if your mother's sole purpose in life was to birth a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. She put so much pressure on you to become what you did just so she could float around the village and have bragging rights that her daughter is a professor. Well, guess what? Her daughter's also about to be a felon. Lord, I bet your mama can't even take her garbage to the damn road, bitch, without getting the eggs of shame thrown at her ass. Everybody's laughing at you. They're going to laugh at you. I bet the mama probably self-deported. Baby, the mama probably said, "Baby, if you can't get me back to Africa, bitch, put me on a raft and ship my ass to Cuba." That's how quick your mama ass probably done ran out the village, the way you don't embarrass her. Not only down to the ground, bitch, down to the global satellites, bitch. This embarrassment is so bad, it went up into the stratosphere, and NASA beamed it all around the world. And your mama not even welcome back in Africa. She's so embarrassed about what you did. And not to mention, Eddie, them people already didn't want to fool up with your ass because they said you was from that cursed ass tribe. And just when that damn mama and family was coming around on that show, I bet that mama really hates your ass now, and she 100% feel justified for never coming around y'all ass because she believed that your ass was cursed, and bitch, you don't put this curse on her goddamn son. Do Jesus. Them Africans knew something, baby. You don't understand how you just fortified 200 generations of pettiness, because that lady gonna tell her daughters and granddaughters, when you know, that lady knew your damn family was cursed, and you don't fucked around and dragged her son to the pits of hell and the pits of jail. No, God, honey. And here's the unfortunate thing, Wendy. You fell victim to wanting to keep up with the Joneses for an expectation that you built in your head. Wendy, we never looked at you as the.
Oh my gosh. I wish it was Friday, y'all. After listening to that, I have 2 more days to work it out on the job. Okay, we all do. Oh my gosh, that just like exhausted me. I feel like it feels like I didn't get any sleep and it's time to like get up and start the workday all over again. Just in those couple minutes, he just like drained me of energy. So the self-deporting, when he got to Wendy's mom and saying she can't even take her garbage to the curb without people judging her and throwing tomatoes at her. Okay, so that was funny. And he said she probably so embarrassed that she self-deported. Oh, I don't think she's doing all of that, but I'm sure I do think Dr. Wendy's mom is a little annoyed because I do think that she took pride in saying that she produced a professor. Absolutely. Because that was the whole point of applying the pressure to her kids, is so that she could say that she produced these professionals. But I think that this is a reflection of Dr. Wendy being accustomed to being under pressure. So then she allowed herself to feel pressured to own expensive jewelry and bags, everything that they claimed on the insurance claims. That's what she pressured herself into thinking that she had to have. And who knows, when she has her day in court, her and Eddie may be found not guilty. I don't know. But I don't want anybody feeling pressure to keep up with the Joneses or come off materialistic and wealthy. I think you should do what makes you comfortable and happy, but within your means. Definitely, if you're going to feel pressure in life, it should not be to pretend like you can afford material things. Like, there should just be like the like healthy levels of pressure that make you be proactive. Like if you're in college and you feel that pressure to study, start that paper. Okay, work on that paper. Okay, get it done and edit it. Or to clean up your dorm room, do the laundry, clean the bathroom, clean out the fridge. That type of pressure, let me just get up, let me just get out of the bed, go work out, I'll be glad that I did it. Those types of pressures are healthy because they make you productive. You're doing things that you need to do and are good for you. You should not experience pressures where it is people pleasing or it's centered around how you look to other people. Who gives a fuck how you look to other people? They cannot judge you. They are human just like you. They are imperfect just like you. And for a large part of my post-college career, I've worked within the financial industry and I've reviewed checking and savings accounts, 401ks for people who are trying to buy houses. If people did mismanage the checking account and they will want you to figure out where did they go wrong, where did they overdraw, and what amounts are my deductions, what amounts are the bank's fees. One thing that I've learned is that people, regardless of race, regardless of gender, people spend money. Some people are better at saving than others, but no one is just like saving like millions of dollars, or I won't even say no one, I won't talk in absolute terms, but the average working American, regardless of race, they're not saving like a ton of money, but they're spending. And I find that the more people spend when it comes to eating out, the bill gets bigger. So like for people who may make less money, they may be picking up dinner from, I don't know, McDonald's or upwards of Panera. And then other people who make, more money, when they're grabbing something to eat, it could be J. Alexander's if you have that where you live. That's like steak and, um, it's definitely more expensive than more a higher tier than like a Red Lobster or Chili's or Applebee's. But if you have J. Alexander's and PF Chang's, the more money that people make, the more that they spend. So I wouldn't want anyone to feel pressure to appear a certain way to please others. And I hope that that's not pressure that Wendy applies to herself, but I think that it's very feasible that she has, just because she grew up being up under pressure, up under her mother's pressure to be scholastically perfect and have really astonishing, huge goals, educational goals. So I could see her applying pressure to herself 100%. Now, Funky Dineva talking about, I don't know why you would go through all these extremes to purchase these items and try to keep up with the Joneses when we never saw you as like the it girl or the fashionista. Well, nobody on that show really sticks out, because we know it ain't Giselle that we would look to for fashion. My gosh. One distinct memory that I have of Giselle, so I know that Monique Samuels is returning this season 10, but her last season was season 5. That season, in one of the early episodes, they were all meeting. It was an all cast scene at a restaurant. It was a dinner that Monique Samuels and Giselle planned together. So they arrived at the restaurant early. Giselle walks in. I remember the outfit to the T, because I was in amazement that her brain would even tell her to put those items on. She was wearing knee-high boots with leather shorts and a black long-sleeve sweatshirt that was black sequins with big red juicy lips. I was like, what the fuck does Giselle have on? Amazingly, that same episode, Karen, the producer, somehow get her saying in her confessional, sometimes I don't know what Giselle has on and I'd be embarrassed to be out with her. And I just hollered, because the rare times when I'm watching a reality TV show and I have an opinion and then someone on the cast says my thoughts, I just holler. The only other time it's happened on Bring It. I'll get into that in a second. But no one on that show, I'm just like, oh my gosh, the looks, yes, it's giving. Now, reunion time, I feel like Karen Huger slays. I feel like those early seasons of Potomac, Ashley Darby had a few outfits that were cute. Then as the seasons went on, she just got goofier and goofier with her looks. Yeah, and that's about it. So, I mean, he could say that would be a statement that he would have for all of them on there. So I don't know why he would say we didn't see you as like this fashion girl or it girl. I don't know if he's judging her because he knows that she's more academia. So it's like a woman cannot be both smart and fashionable. I don't know why he kind of went there. And then he's like, because he's talking about the storyline involving NECA was she on 2 seasons ago, like season 8? And she was saying that Wendy's, I don't even want to get into that about Wendy's family, where they come from, and I don't even want to go there. So he was trying to say that Wendy caused Eddie to go down. No, Eddie is a grown man. He's a grown, educated man who has his Juris Doctorate. He chose to send his wife those emails about what else can he claim to up it all the way to their limit of liability at the $400K. That was on him. It got nothing to do with the rumors that NECA brought up. Absolutely not. But he always got something to say, right? If it allows him to criticize a Black woman. What do you think about Funky Dineva's words concerning Dr. Wendy and Eddie Osefo, mainly Dr. Wendy? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.